Hi, I'm Ken Jr. and welcome to Train World TV. Here you'll find the latest and greatest in model trains. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. And if you're new to our channel, we're glad you're here, and I invite you to click the subscribe button and hit that bell notification so you'll never miss a video. Now, we'd also love to send you exclusive deals and special announcements that you won't find anywhere else. So be sure to sign up for our emails, TW Text, and stay connected with us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Don't forget, you can shop online at trainworld.com for all your model train needs. Now, without further ado, enjoy today's video.
All right, and good evening to everyone. Welcome to Thomas Tuesday, the latest event for October 2024. It is a wonderful, wonderful day. We have awesome guests here this evening. Two Twains. They are known for their crazy skits on TikTok going absolutely viral. Matt and Meg, how are you guys doing this evening?
We're doing well. Great to be here. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, doing good.
Fantastic. And also, we have another visitor who just joined us, Ken Jr.
Hello, how are you
tardy,
doing?
Ken. You are tardy. We just went live.
Sorry, cut it in close, and we'll have to pop out early, but I just wanted to say hello and catch what I can.
Awesome. And as always, the man of the hour with the latest Bachman Thomas reveals, updates. Lots of new products are going to be on the shelves this fall and winter. Doug Blaine from Bachman Trains, how are you doing?
Very well, thanks. Great to be with you, Christian and Ken. And I, too, am anxious to see what Matt and Meg have in store for us this evening.
Awesome. And the chat is always going crazy. People are saying hello. There he is, all across the board. And there's people from not just the United States, as always, but from, I think, Korea, as right here, from Korea. And the list goes on and on and on. You got European guests, we got Asian guests, we got people from South America. And people get up, at like 7 a.m. sometimes just to watch the stream live. That's how much Thomas means to them and Train World means to them. And Ken, as always, it's such a pleasure to be doing these events once a month. So thank you. And I'm super excited to see what's in store today.
Christian, you're the man. you're the man that makes it happen. But real quick, because I am a little under the weather and I do have to pop out, I just wanted to go over a couple of things before we get started. And I do apologize to Doug and our guest as well, because I won't be able to hang on as much as I'd like tonight. Just a couple of things. So, Christian, did you tell them about who stopped by the store?
I'll get to that. We could start with that now if you'd like.
Yeah.
All right. So before further ado, I want to give a shout out to Enterprising Engine 93 as well as Sidekick Jason. Those of you in the fandom might know them as Matt Mashad and Jason. They are huge Thomas fans, being super involved in Wooden Railway filming outdoors as well as Tomy Plow Rail. And I actually do have an image right here, Ken, that I'll share my screen with.
Okay.
Yeah, right over here. Let's just make sure.
If not, I could share it. Here, I got it.
Did you have it? Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah.
My laptop's being a little slow, but yes.
Yeah, so they stopped by the store, and it was a really nice surprise, and it was great to chat and talk Thomas and to pick their brain. And it's amazing how many views and subscribers they have amassed just through Thomas. And that just goes to show like how big Thomas actually is. Like I believe one of the channels was like over 200,000 subscribers, and it was just flabbergasted. It was just unbelievable. So it was really nice. We took a picture out in front of Trainland and some of our employees as well. So it was really cool to see and to be with them, and just to kind of share the retail store. So it was a nice little pit stop for them. So we did enjoy that. But Christian gave me the word on it. He was like, "You got to prepare. The big Thomas YouTubers are coming down." And so Christian was more excited. I felt bad because Christian wasn't there.
It's all good. Yeah, I'm out in the Midwest, obviously, grad school. But I'm super glad that this happened, Ken. I was there in spirit. We got into a little FaceTime call, as you know, so it was great to see them there. And like I said, Ken, I don't play games. You know, when I say these are big users, they're big users. All right, they've got 200K, 300K, and you know who else are big users are our guests Matt and Meg this evening on TikTok. They've got huge following if you watch their stuff. So
wow, that's awesome.
yeah, definitely check it out. In fact, Ken, I think you were the one who actually first mentioned them to me way back in the summer.
Yes.
So,
Yes. I was. It's amazing how many like viewers and people just gather around because of Thomas. And I wanted to chat on something else today. There was a sports radio show, and they were talking about this piano player. And I thought of you, Christian, and he was playing all this musical channel and on radio. But then they were talking about Thomas, and the guy has, I guess, an Instagram channel, and he plays this classical music, but makes it into pop or modern. And he has he wears like Thomas glasses, and they were talking about how this piano player with Thomas glasses came out, and he got all these big views. I can't play it because I'm not logged in, but you can see here he's got these Thomas glasses, and the radio show was talking about how many views he got and how great he is, and then he goes, and that's because you got these Thomas glasses on. and he just plays these all these music. Oh, here you can see it too. He's got no shirt, but he's got these Thomas the Tank glasses, and he's just playing these amazing piano songs. And Christian, if this doesn't work out, maybe you could do some piano playing with some Thomas shades.
I'm not opposed, Ken. I'm not opposed. And I guess I'll have to give you a call after the stream's over about all this stuff, because this is the first time I'm hearing about this. This is
That's
insane.
right. And Doug actually, I think Bachman used to be, he spoke about being a sunglass place in the beginning. So maybe they could make some Thomas sunshades, but this they had a lot of views, and I think they said like something over 1 million or whatever. But they were just talking about Thomas on a regular channel, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Amazing. Worlds are colliding, Ken. You see, this is it. Worlds are colliding.
And last thing before I'll catch a little bit of the episode, but I just want to get all the agenda items. I know people are freaking out. We had to send out some cancellations today. So I don't want people to be alarmed, but it is sadly true. I had to confirm, Doug. I don't know if you want to bring this up, but we had to cancel some pre-orders. But
no, that's all right, Ken.
Okay. So Duncan, we had to cancel the pre-orders. I saw people on Twitter and some emails like right away. It was a lot more urgent than I thought the responses would be. But unfortunately, I don't think Duncan will be produced. So I just wanted to clear the rumors that we made a mistake or not, but it will be canceled, unfortunately.
Yeah, just to jump in on that, if I may, it was the price we got from the factory was just a little bit high for us, and we didn't think it was going to be acceptable in the market. And part of the reasons, like, some of the pricing on the narrow gauge HO narrow gauge, they're not inexpensive models. And what is advantageous to us, though, is that some of them were able to adapt for Thomas and, you know, more traditional model railroading. So we cover two markets with some of the products. And unfortunately, Duncan really only exists in the Thomas world and doesn't necessarily do as well in the, you know, with a real prototype. So we wouldn't get the crossover appeal for that model. And we were afraid that the sales would not be sufficient to justify the cost without the crossover appeal for both Thomas and, you know, ON30 modelers, not ON30, HO narrow gauge modelers.
Got it.
So that's what happened on that. And I'm sorry to say there might be, you know, hopefully it's not totally dead, but for right now, we had to put the cancellation on it.
Okay. But there are still plenty of other choices and options available. We included a link with other items that Bachman's coming out with. So I know it's a tough decision, but definitely there's plenty of other options, and we respect Doug's decisions on it. And sometimes it just is what it is.
Yeah. After all, kind of, it's just one of 40 to 50 products that are on the way or something like that.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
All right. But
thanks for understanding. And you're right. There's a lot more on the way. So that hopefully that'll soften the blow a little bit.
Yeah, that's right.
All right. But anyways, are we ready to hype up two Twains?
Sounds good.
So Matt, Meg, please tell us how you got into Thomas.
You want to take this one, Meg?
No, you go first.
Well, my story is similar to a lot of the guests you've had for Thomas today. It started out very young. As an American kid, it was Shining Time Station as the introduction, VHS tapes. You know, so when my grandparents would babysit me, we would over and over and over again. By that point, would memorize every episode and every line from the Ringo Starr original series. The level of detail with the sets kept us coming back to it. We just started to play around one day with shooting shots on camera, and we thought, let's just throw this on TikTok just for fun. And then that just snowballed into two trains of what it is today.
Amazing. And Matt, I remember you told me we were in our call, like there were a few years there where you kind of forgot about Thomas, or you kind of phased out of it, and then even so, later, years later, you still have that vivid memory of that beautiful winter shot or that beautiful autumn shot. And you're wondering, what is that I remember so clearly? And it's that model set from season one, that Clearwater feature so beautifully featured to us as children. And then even as adults, like we look at back in the artistry and craftsmanship, it really is remarkable what they've done. So,
yeah, the level of detail, they didn't have to go that hard, but they did. They did that for us. And I think that in many ways is why folks keep coming back to it. With kids shows today, they probably could have got away with a lot less of a serious approach, but it was as accurate as it could be. And the Reverend Audrey was a stickler for that too. So I think keeping the spirit with that, in the live action series really just captures the magic of the franchise more so than anything else that you see today.
Absolutely. And Meg, what was your introduction to Thomas? Out of curiosity.
Well, this was it. So I knew he liked shrinking. We had talked about it before. And then he had talked about building a model once we moved, because we actually had a house and we're in an apartment anymore. So it's like, oh, can I use the girl model? Sure. But I didn't know it was going to be. I actually love it. And I have this weird sense of pride with it now, even though, like, Thomas, I was never, like a Thomas kid.
You thought it was going to be a coffee top, little Z-scale side table.
Might have been how I sold it initially.
Yeah.
Oh, incredible. All right. So without further ado, shall we go into the layout?
Yeah, we'll take a look at it.
Awesome.
We have, I'm going to turn the camera around here. This is actually a seasonal layout. So right now we have the fall overlay that we're going to show you. But what we're going to do after Halloween is add a winter overlay. So we're already getting the trees ready to go for that. But right now we'll just show you the colors of fall here. I'm going to take this camera off our stand. Turn it around. Bear with me one moment. Okay. You guys able to see us okay?
Absolutely.
Meg, why
Okay,
don't you take us over here, and I'll just give everyone a grand tour of what we're looking at. So, it's all DC
We're doing this?
analog. Yeah, we'll show
Okay.
everything. The original layout is about a 7x9, mostly on foam board. A lot of the buildings actually were sourced from Train World, so thank you, Train World, for those. We have Bachman Easy Track as the roadbed with Woodland Scenics ballast to cover that. This is one of my favorite shots here, the viaduct scene. We'll go around and see every inch of this, but we'll get some trains running first.
How'd you make that? Because Christian, that looks kind of similar to yours.
Yeah, I have something like that. It's in the narrow gauge portion, but
Very
lots of
cool.
elevation. But yeah, I'm curious to know too, Matt, how you guys did that.
This was hard to find. This was, I think, just a double wide, just HO scale bridge. I think it technically can be bigger, but just in the interest of space, we condensed that here. What the waterfalls are is we just had done like epoxy strips.
We cut out the foam.
And we cut out the foam to basically stack it and create some depth here. So it's really, this is sitting on a pool table. It's also, the base is about, 2 or 3, foam board pieces too. So the water is epoxy with a Mod Podge gloss top to get some ripple effects here. We got some canoers down up over at the river. We'll get running. So that's Thomas running on the auto reversing Bachman loop. Yeah, and that is connecting. What we have is Ellsbridge Station to Knapford.
This one?
This is Marin Station at the top of Gordon's Hill, up over here. One of the bends of Gordon's Hill. When we were designing this, we wanted to see how many scenes from the original show could we incorporate into a single layout in a consolidated way that has it ready to run. So you have Thomas coming back and forth here. Only he can fit here. It's pretty narrow, but if you want to get in there further, Meg, you can see the Ellsbridge sign was from, I think, someone's going to have to correct me, like a Trackmasters, perhaps, or Tomix. Yeah, so we really borrowed what we could, but I'm happy with how that came out. I'll get some other trains running while I talk through, but there you go. Just keep working down there.
Okay.
Yeah. Got the Hornby signal box. Keep working this way.
I'm sorry, did you say what track you use?
Yeah, this is all Bachman Easy Track. So when we were designing this, I just decided to do it in that way, and we got a lot of the ready-to-run sets. We found those to be the most cost-effective to get just the track we needed, the transformers. That's also why we had so many Thomas trains. So, we started with 2 trains, and we ended up having at least 4 of these, but here's a down the mine.
Oh, that looks neat.
We're trying to get this to maybe fill 9 bit. On a little
Christian, that's something you got to create.
I know, Ken. I can tell you right now, I don't have that on my layout.
That's a work in progress, but
yeah.
We got a little Brendam docks down over here. Some fans of Canadian television might recognize some of these tugboats, not in the same universe, but I watched both of these shows growing up. Theodore, these little drainage pipes are actually hot glue that just gets poured into the water just to simulate just sludge falling out in there. Happy with how that came out. We got some little fish. Here we go, Meg. You're going to take that around. And yeah, we'll get more trains running here. We're just kind of doing the first circle around the back. These are actually 2 boards, so this is somewhat portable if we need to be. We're in Florida, so we have a hurricane coming up, so I may need to fit the car in the garage. So,
oh, geez.
Hopefully, it may not have that, but fortunately, this is all easy to be moved. This is on an air hockey table here.
Are you guys on the West Coast or East Coast?
We're in the center of the state, so
okay.
We're actually right by Disney.
Thoughts and prayers are with you.
What's that?
Our thoughts and prayers are with you. I hear it's going to be pretty bad hitting Florida. So.
Yeah, thank you. We're watching it closely, so we'll we got a contingency plan in place if we need to.
Good.
This is one of my favorite newer scenes. This is the Wellsworth Station. Again, not entirely screen accurate, but just in the interest of space, we had the second line running inward. You can see the Halloween kind of pumpkins here. Percy's getting the mail train ready to go for the night. Fun fact about the water tower here. If anyone wants a cost-effective way to build one of these, this is a medicine shot glass on a green plastic straw And I think we got this ladder from just a broken signal switch and just a little piece of extra plastic from a kit. So, yeah, we may fill that with epoxy or not. I'm just happy with how it came out. Looked similar to
We
the.
get creative over here.
We try to build versus buy when we can, unless we got to get it. Got a little Trevor the Tractor. I like how this scale of the Ertl just goes well with the HO. So I'm glad we were able to incorporate that here. The little quarry doubles as the salt mines. You got Bill and Ben. Still a work in progress.
Oh, that's cool.
Got our Knapford station over here. One thing that we do is we're trying to get better at effects. So we have a little smoker that we got from Amazon, just to create a little bit of.
Oh wow!
A little bit of something there.
That's cool.
Come forward.
That's neat.
So one thing we also did too, we got these sound recording buttons. So I've been just playing around with getting different engine whistles just for show. So
that's awesome. Christian, we got to get you one of those smokers for the channel.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, that's something I haven't experimented with. You know, and I really should.
Yeah.
That's neat. Wow. Is that like water, or how does that?
I think it's like fog vapor.
What do you put in it?
We got like
It's like a solution you put in it.
it comes with
wow.
Fog juice.
That's pretty cool. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
And I love the 3-dimension on the mine, the quarry. That's really cool. It feels like you're diving in deep in like a coal mining section. Really cool.
Yeah, there's a little fake mine door there that just goes to nowhere. It's just painted black.
Yeah.
But we have to be efficient with space. And basically all the mountains serve a purpose too. They hold all the transformer blocks, extension cords. This is pretty much being run on 2 surge protectors with 1 main power switch. Meg, I want to show over here. We got Henry's tunnel. This is just a false track, but for those shots, if we ever need to, if it ever rains, we can cover him up in there. So yeah, that's it for the layout. Yeah, and we have different sky backgrounds we tried to use.
Yeah. You guys went really fast. I have a few questions actually.
Yeah.
So, firstly, in the chat, what's the fog machine, or what's the brand? Out of curiosity, some people are asking about that.
It says fog machine.
If you look up fog machine S30, I think it's maybe like $30. Yeah. But we've got it on Amazon. I've gone through a few. This has been the best one so far. I can find the name of that and send that to you, Christian, as a follow-up if you'd like.
Awesome. Thanks.
Christian, we're going to have to expense that on the business account.
We actually are working on another layout too, if you guys want a sneak peek of that. We were not planning to show this, but being close to Florida, we're big Disney fans, and we also love Disneyland. But the closest thing we have to that here is this Disneyland layout we're working on.
Wow!
It still needs some greenery, but this is also HO scale. Well, actually, first thing, so we have this plug into here. So the only thing really custom that we don't have much, but if we need a female Thomas, we have a little wig. It's borrowed from Meg's hair. So,
Meg, did you donate hair for that?
Oh yeah. Oh yes, I did.
Yeah.
It grew back.
I'm dedicated to the cause.
Yeah, these are some of our custom faces.
As long as you had permission.
Yeah.
You want to hold on to this, Harold the helicopter. The only thing custom we've done so far, so this is the standard Bachmann toy, but we added a motor inside him and it gave him a little light. So we're trying to figure out ways to incorporate this into videos, maybe on an armature wire to hide the wires, obviously, but that was really hard to do. So
we did use it for a TikTok, though.
We did actually use it for a TikTok. Yeah, the Panic at the Disco parody.
Yeah, I'd love to see at some point, if possible, like a tutorial video on how you did that to your Harold, because I'm sure a lot of people would like to do that.
Yeah, and we're trying to do something similar with Birdie. I got remember those Zip Zaps, the small RC from Radio Shack? I'm trying to make a motorized Birdie, but we may just have them on a string. So this is the Disneyland train going around. These are all lit with, and we got a little bit.
Awesome.
But
yeah, it's not perfect.
yeah, so
the lights look really awesome. Like it is. It gives that Disney World feel.
Yeah, thank you. This one, this is actually a Christmas ornament that's supposed to light up, but I think we need to change the battery. But that marquee sign. So I'll go back to our Sodor layout. So initially, this was just Knapford right here, but obviously it had a couple other archways, and so I wanted to expand that out to 4. But that's actually where. So these tracks on these 2 transformers, it's not really sophisticated, but I'll just unplug and plug in whichever one I need. So they're all powered when we need to.
Now, how did you get the lights inside Knapford? Or in other words, are those LEDs that you have inside the canopies there?
I don't know if they're LEDs. I think they're just regular hobby lights that you would have to solder together with the red and black wires. Some of the other lights we use are just the Lego ones, frankly, where it's just USB powered. Once I figured out that, I'm like, oh, I don't need to impress anybody with my terrible soldering skills. I'll just plug in these lights and ready to go. So had I known about those, that's why these lights are a little bit better. These are the Lego lights, really just hot glued in there. No soldering needed. But the original one is a little dimmer there. Those are the original lights in some of the buildings there. Some of these buildings were actually given to me by a friend of mine whose grandfather passed several years ago, but they just wanted them to be in the hands of someone who would appreciate it. So I'm glad these have a new life in this layout here.
You've done well by those buildings. I'm sure they would be proud to see the way they've been used.
Thank you. These these look familiar. These are Emily's coaches, custom painted to look like the original Series 1, like smaller passenger coaches. So we had just done some masking tape there. I wasn't in love with the solid green that they had, but we use that usually for Henry's train here, and just kind of as a mix and match.
Can I jump in with a question here?
Please, yeah.
So you said that one of your goals with the layout was to try to incorporate as many original scenes as you could. How many do you think you have in there? There are a lot. I couldn't count them all as you were going through, but do you have an estimate for how many scenes you've recreated?
Should we count them all right now?
Let's do it.
All right. So we got Knapford is 1. I don't know if this one really counts, but that's the bend around Knapford, but that's been an iconic shot here.
That counts.
Yeah. Henry's Tunnel, that's 3. The Viaduct.
Yeah.
4. I think the river of the Viaduct is technically different than the one that goes to Ellsbridge, but we have Ellsbridge where Thomas goes fishing.
Great house under construction, not to interrupt.
Yep. Oh, yeah. You know what? It's been like that for 2 years. I don't know if they're going to finish it.
Probably not.
Farquhar Station. What are we at right now?
6.
6. Okay, we got Gordon's Hill.
7.
Okay. Marin Station.
8.
God. Ellsbridge Station.
Wow.
This would be, Christian, correct me, Hackenbeck Tunnel for the Thomas.
I think so, yeah.
Yep. A beach side, not entirely screen accurate, but I always envisioned kind of the one that Duck would ride along that coast. Took some creative liberties there, but let's count that.
With the lighthouse, that counts.
Yeah, right. Of course. Bachman Lighthouse. Thank you. Tidmouth Sheds, which we bought this roundhouse not knowing that there was the Tidmouth colors, so I may have to paint these eventually, but we got Tidmouth.
Yeah, I was wondering if you were inspired by mine when you got that one.
I was. Yeah, I was telling
because I noticed you did the white weathering too.
Yep. Yeah, I saw someone. I don't know who it was online, but someone on YouTube. I think it was a good way to weather that plastic for the brick. But I was telling Christian in our first phone conversation that his layout video, I think from 15 years ago, originally inspired me to do this because I had this idea in mind to do an extensive Sodor layout. But when I saw his, I'm like, oh, well, mine can never be that good or that extensive. So
not true.
Well,
not
true. We got
The
Down the Mine.
possibilities are endless.
Mine, that's, what are we at right now?
13.
I think 13.
Wow.
Brandom Docks,
14.
14. This is that original shot from the opening shot. We don't have the sky where it should be, but that's that grand opening shot from the intro video. 15. Wellsworth.
16.
And the Quarry. So I guess 17.
Wow. It's a lot.
That is fantastic.
We're trying to fit more if we can, but we got more.
Great use of space. You really
Absolutely.
you have packed it in there, but it doesn't look packed. It looks like, it's sensibly done, and you just treated everything very well to make it work. So
there's always the kitchen.
Oh,
Yeah, I have to ask, any chances to add like a narrow gauge line at some point?
narrow gauge line.
I don't know where I would put that. I was thinking maybe somewhere over here, but I'll be honest, since I only grew up with the original series, the narrow gauge line doesn't have the same sentimental attachment to myself, so that wasn't at least a priority for this project. But definitely down the road.
This is the first of many, I feel like.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, we want to get into doing some gardening, garden railroading eventually.
Very cool. Now, Christian, did you show their account on TikTok?
There's some profane stuff on there, Ken. I don't know if you
Okay.
Depends on who the audience is here, but you can find us at Two Twains. I think Two Trains was already taken. Why we're Two Twains? We were going to both dress up as Mark Twain here, but this is also our first time showing ourselves on camera here. I'll turn around our.
Yeah, if you have a TikTok channel, they have a TikTok channel, and a lot of it is really funny. They do like skits and different kinds of things, but it's amazing how many views with Thomas the Tank, and it kind of broadens the persona of Thomas, and people who don't know Thomas get to see it. And I'm looking at the amount of likes, 1.5 million likes. So congratulations to you two, because that's really amazing job. And whether it's funny, not funny, just serious, or just a good clip, you're exposing people to model trains. So that's amazing, and it seems like you guys are having fun with it. So I enjoyed it. When I saw it, I guess I sent it over to Christian, but I was like, I think I saw was it the Eminem song one? And I think that was the one that popped up at first. And I was like, what is this? And I was like, that's hysterical. And then I checked the channel, and I just was like, kept on watching like different videos and everything. But it was funny how you also did like songs with it, which I thought that was unique. So a lot of like different stuff you kind of pivoted into. So it was pretty neat. Who thought of that? Like,
Sitting here, and we were like, we had been talking about making a TikTok, and we were like, all right, let's just post something. And I think I can't even remember what our first little video was, but then someone had commented like, oh, it was like a Biggie video, and someone commented, oh, you need to put a face on it. And I was like, huh. And then we were very big like parody song people in general. We were always singing and like riffing, and so I think the first video that got like big views was one of our like Avril Lavigne videos where we like
that's right.
anything would ever like come of this, like we're like, maybe we'll get like 500 views or something, and then it starts just like going up and up and up, and you're like, okay, so then that's getting more because it's a lot of fun.
Wow, that's awesome.
So this is the parody that started it all, when someone said to put a Biggie face on Thomas. So.
That's hysterical.
We have that person to thank.
Yeah.
Oh my! Now, do you like Biggie, or like, do you like the song, or you just decided, hey, let's do a Biggie song?
Like, hey, let's do, like, we don't. It's not that we don't. It's not like we don't like it. We're just like
right.
Popular song, like it's one of those songs that like everybody knows. And then as soon as we found like on YouTube like all these 10-year-old parodies, I was like, oh, we can do something with this and like make it into like an actual like music video versus just the song.
That's awesome. That's so creative. Good for you two. And I'm actually glad that both of you guys found a hobby together. Like that's really nice, and I'm glad both of you guys enjoy it. So.
Well, thank you to Train World for helping at least us sort this possible. So anyone can make their own TikToks with that. And actually, it's great. Not only were we inspired by Christian's video way back when, right?
Oh wow, cool.
But we're seeing folks comment on our thing saying your layout has inspired us to make my own layout. So I think that's part of the fandom is paying that, inspiring other folks.
We're seeing how many Thomas fans there are. Like me, as someone who did not grow up in the Thomas world, like I always knew it was big. I feel like Thomas the Tank Engine is a household name, whether you watch it or not. But I was just like a lot of people are really into this.
Yeah. And it's true too, because everybody like does it in their own unique way. I mean, you guys found something with the skits and the songs and meshing that together. Some people do like wooden Thomas trains. Some people do Bachman Thomas trains. So there's some people just do video skits or stuff like that. So there's all different kinds of people in the Thomas realm, and it's nice to see different stuff.
Absolutely. Yeah, I started with the wooden sets, so slowly over time expanding that. But I was too little to articulate that, like, oh, I wanted to be more accurate, but I didn't know how to convey that to my parents. So I just had that thought at 3 or 4 years old. I'm like, okay, one day when I'm an adult and I have like adult money, like I'll buy as many realistic ones as I could, and here we are. And so you make a promise to yourself. 30 years later, it comes true. And so it did satisfy, and it was very satisfying just to see that come to life, and even the mistakes we made on the set. Right? Remember, Meg? There was a time when there was a leak making the river with epoxy, and it had spilled all over. We still have an epoxy stain here, but we own the house, so we don't have to upset anybody. And even the pool table got ruined. I'm like, this table's got more use just being the base for our train table than a pool table. So it's been fun. It's been an amazing ride. We built it in 2023. This year was the year we started the TikTok. So after Halloween, we're gonna hopefully have some holiday ones. Recreate some of those classic episodes. I'd like to get into more serious recreations. I love seeing the fan recreated ones of. Thomas and Gordon, I feel like, is the standard one, that first episode of when you try to do a shot-for-shot recreation. So I almost built this layout initially with that in mind to do, and we just had the side route of just going the comedy route. But cool. having Meg help me with the comedy element, our best videos, I've told her, have been the ones that we've done together. If she, a couple nights in a row and is recovering from that, and I try to make one I think is funny, sometimes it won't hit. The train video in Disney that didn't go anywhere, right? But the ones that she works on, then we get like 1 million hits on it. So
very good. That's awesome.
In the future, Ken, I'll be back in New York. Have a girlfriend, and then she'll find new ways to make me more viral too,
That's it. You got to find someone who likes Thomas. That's the key. That's the key to a good marriage.
Because you got the sentimental qualities of the original show that we're replicating through its beauty and artistry and model trains. But then she knows all the pop culture and what's popular, and then she's going to implement that into the model trains, and then boom.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, two Twains 2.0, the Terrence the Tractor 525 spinoff.
Yeah, that's right. And it's amazing because a lot of times we bring on people who have like YouTube channels and sometimes like Instagram channels, but this is like TikTok. So it's totally different and a different audience. Like each social media channel has a different audience and people who follow. So that's really cool that you bring in a different dimension and audience and people into trains. So I thought it was really cool and unique.
It was great to showcase it with the community. And again, I hadn't realized how big the fandom was. It really seems like after COVID, like a lot of folks just rediscovered it. So to see that all these YouTubers, even folks on TikTok doing it, it's just we're in a like-minded community, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, and on that note, real quick, before I forget, Ken, I just totally forgot. Tomorrow marks 40 years since the television series began.
Really?
40 years.
Wow.
Yeah, it started October 9th, 1984. Crazy.
Again,
at that point.
That's great.
Starting back with season 1 in Clearwater Features.
Good history. Good history.
We got our own little Clearwater down here in Florida. But...
hopefully the storm isn't too bad, and your layout is just amazing. It's really awesome, and the work both of you do is just awesome. I enjoy it. So and I believe it really helps bring out trains to hopefully a bigger audience, and Thomas to a bigger audience. So great job, you two.
Thank you.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it, Ken.
Thank
Yeah, thanks for sharing this tonight. Great job.
Thank you. What do you got for us, Doug?
Well, I'm happy to share, but there may be some interim business here to take care of. What do you think, Christian? I don't know what you have planned in between.
Ken, anything up your sleeve this evening?
Oh, well, I went early thinking that I was going to hop off, but I was.
I guess
I'm still going.
The point is it raffle time or is that later?
Quite honestly, I ran home, so I don't have a raffle.
All right, I'm gonna reorient my camera here for a second.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. No raffle tonight, but I will make it up next week. Next month. Sorry. Unless Christian could think of something that we have. Did you do a review on anything you got to send back, or?
Mm-hmm.
If not, we could do next week, next month.
Next month? Yeah. Sorry, guys. Tune in next month.
All right. Sorry, everyone.
All right, there we go. That's a little bit better a little closer for showing some new items. So if you're ready, I'm ready.
You're up.
Ready.
All right, sounds good. So I'm going to start with a bit of a review from last time. I showed you the individual figures for the narrow gauge personnel, and we have them glued up in a set. This is what we were going to show. I don't know background, but I said we had lost a shipment that was sent to a trade show. Anyway, the shipment was found, and this is what we're going to show at the trade show. So it's just kind of nice to see them all together.
No.
And this way I can show you the backs of them as well. So this is the narrow gauge personnel figure set. And I like their little Blue Mountain Quarry logos on the back of the jumpsuit uniforms there. So that's just, that was a quick review. And then I wanted to show you our first painted samples of our HO narrow gauge high side wagons. So we got three painted samples. I'm going to go with this red one first. There we go. Try and get some, lots of flash on that one there. So the sides are different. The one side has the brake handle, the other side does not. And one end has a drop-in door. That's this side. And the other is a solid structure all the way around the wagon.
Very neat.
Some wood grain on the bottom. And there we go. So we're happy to show our first painted samples of those. So that's the red one. We've got a brown one here. Same deal. And then, there we go. That's a good inside shot. And then one more color. Oh, and this has got the Blue Mountain Quarry logo. And I guess that was obvious in blue, but just see if I can get it to focus in a little bit better on that. It's going to go out of focus, but there you go. And then one more version is the green version.
Very cool.
Just to show you what they would look like together, if I can get them all on my hands at the same time without dropping anything, which is always difficult. Try and get my fingers out of the way. I'm not doing very well, huh? Not too bad.
It's good. Yeah, nice colorful consist.
Absolutely. So they'll be coming your way. These will not be in until probably 2025 at this point, but we're making good progress with that project. So that's, and just to give you an idea, this is what they look like behind Scarlowe. All right. Now, as long as I have Scarlowe in hand here, I also wanted to show you our new our Fletcher Jennings 042s, and these are paint variations. Well, it's the prototype for Scarlowe, and this was the first locomotive that the Teleflin Railway had. It actually they purchased it before the railway opened in, I think it was 1866. So the new locomotives variations, prototype variations that we're doing are based on the locomotive that has had a long history at Teleflin. So it's had very long time for paint variations and differentiation, but we're showing differences from Scarlowe here. So Scarlowe, obviously we couldn't have the face for the prototype model. So we have a new smoke box door, and as well as a headlamp on there. I don't know, it doesn't show up real well with the black. I have another variations that's got a white headlight. So again, this is a paint variation based on Scarlowe, but with the new smoke box door and the new headlamp. So there's the black version. I think the first one was the green, which I'll show you in a second here. This is really not showing up that great against my sweater, but the green one will. So let me get that out. It's actually in a box right now. I wanted to show you how they were coming. So there's the show in the box, and I'll get it out real quickly here. This was the first color scheme for this locomotive on the Teleflin Railway. And then I think it was the black after that, and then I have a red version to show you as well. So I think this model is, just great for the HO narrow gauge modelers. I think it will also appeal to the Thomas fandom. It's just got a great look to it, and hopefully it will inspire some modeling ideas and layout ideas for people who may have narrow gauge lines exclusively or as part of their HO standard gauge railroad as well. You can add a narrow gauge line. So there's the one. It shows the white headlamp, which shows up a little bit better. Get that out. And then I got one more paint variation, which is the red one. So again, with the new smoke box door. And just to show you some of the differences from Scarlowe. Paint variations. Prototype has a black roof. It's got a differently painted interior of the cab, like a cream and black. And, obviously different lining with the Teleflin name of the locomotive right on there. So that's what I got new for you tonight. But hopefully this will inspire, like I said, some new HO narrow gauge railroading, adding a new line maybe, and just some great variation for your railway.
Absolutely.
Awesome stuff.
Thank you.
The chat is excited as always, Doug. It's amazing how big the line has become, the narrow gauge line. I remember thinking, oh yeah, we'll be lucky if we get maybe like Scarlowe, Rheneas, Rusty, and then Peter Sam came out and Inster Handle, and now these, even the real life counterparts of Scarlowe. So it's amazing that it's continuously growing to this point. So
absolutely, and we will keep them coming despite the disappointment on Duncan. We'll have some more plans and future products coming out in narrow gauge as well.
awesome.
Did you want me to give a shipping update as well?
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But before you do it, I
Yeah.
do have to hop off. So I just want to say thank you very much to Bachman Trains, Doug, for always being on. I hear you're a little under the weather too, so I appreciate you coming on tonight. If you are or not.
I didn't know I was under the weather, but.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe it's just me who's congested. So
that's all right. You take care of yourself, and thanks for coming on for as long as you did.
And for you two, I want to thank you so much. Two Twains on TikTok. Check them out. Really great meeting you. And it's amazing stuff, content that you guys create and put out there. Really appreciate the hard work and for what you do for the whole train industry and the Thomas industry and the Thomas fandom. It's really great to see a channel and a marriage out there who's in sync like that. So kudos to you two. I really appreciate you being on tonight. And Christian, thank you so much. Continuing to do an amazing job putting these shows to get together, and you're doing tremendous work. And I really appreciate you, Christian. And thank you, and thank the fandom out there. And but I do have to pop off. But I want to thank everyone for joining. And Christian's going to take over from here. And thank you, Doug, once again. I appreciate it.
Always a pleasure. Thank you, Ken.
Take care. Good night, everyone.
All right. So shipping update, Christian?
Yeah. You want me to share them or?
No, I mean, I can do it. It's up to you. However you want to handle it. Either way.
Okay. Well, I do have the list here. So it looks like, correct me if I'm wrong, because maybe I got a few product codes wrong. But I think Rebecca, the 4 vent vans, the single vent vans being the gray one, the Christmas wreath, and the 2 funfair, and Sir Topham Hatt's car are the HO releases set to come out in November.
Correct. Those are going to be in early November. Just so you know, we are actually air shipping them in. We were, even though the dock strike on the East Coast didn't last very long, it does impact shipping beyond just a couple-day delay. So we wanted to make sure everything got here in time for Christmas and holidays. And so that's why we're air shipping things in. So my point in saying that is we're not shipping the entire production run. So it may be a little bit limited availability. I'm gonna do the Ken roll. Make sure your pre-orders are in to get what is being air shipped in. So, but your product list was right for HO scale, early November.
Okay, great. And then as far as N scale, I think it's N scale Gordon, N scale Emily, Emily's coaches, and Henrietta that are due in November.
That is correct. Unfortunately, Hannah did not make the air shipment, but she won't be too far behind. But yes, correct for N scale there.
Terrific. And then for December, looks like there's going to be a new reshipment of Donald and Douglas.
Yeah, it's just restocking for Donald and Douglas. They've been out of stock for a while.
Okay, awesome. And Doug, just because I have to ask, because everyone's asking, what about the figure packs?
Figure packs, I promised that they were going to be in December, and they're not going to be in December. I apologize. I had every expectation that they would be. So early 2025 is the best I can say now, but they are coming. We're making good progress, and I'm sorry to disappoint you on those for December, because I know I said they were going to be in. That's why I hate to give delivery dates, because you just never know what's going to happen.
And Salty.
Salty, great locomotive. I got nothing for you.
Okay. Just because, again, I'm reading the chat here, just what I'm seeing a lot of, at least from multiple people.
Yeah, sure. And I'm going to repeat, as you know, I don't see the chat on my iPad for whatever.
Okay.
So I'm depending on you for relaying whatever questions here. But okay. Salty is just long-term delays, and I can't even speculate at this point.
Okay. But the other really big one was N-Skill Gordon. I think a lot of people are happy that'll be out before the end of the year.
Yep. Yeah,
N-scaled Gordon.
N-scaled Gordon, N-scaled Emily. Those have been in the works for quite some time. So I'm definitely happy they're going to be reaching our shores.
Yeah. Oh, Charlie just asked about the Emily set. Is that going to be out by the end of the year? Because
That will
apparently
not. That
will
was
not.
too
Okay.
expensive to airship just for size.
Okay. Got it. I think that's everything.
All right, good deal.
Actually, I take that back. DCC, Thomas and Percy, and HO. I promise this is the last one.
No, that's all right. I don't have a delivery date on that, but we are, again, we're making progress. No delivery date yet, though.
Okay.
You're going to have to keep using those big buttons, Matt and Meg.
Yeah.
There you go.
Awesome. I have to ask, are they color coded? In other words, is the red one for James, the blue one for Thomas?
I wanted them to be color coded, but they come in just the variety pack, so they're. But Thomas is blue. That is.
In time they will be.
In time they will be. So this is the iconic sound that we all know. So that one's blue, and then James is red. I think those are the only color codes we got. So James, yeah.
Amazing.
And just
right.
one little side note, Christian, did you see Terrence on the layout?
I actually did not. Can you show Terrence again?
Terrence is on the layout.
Switch the camera
Oh man, Doug, you had to do this to me.
I had to say it. I'm sorry. I saw it and I thought of you immediately. You were you've got a lot going on during the show. You've got to handle comments and video and moving people around for who's talking. So there he is.
Right where he belongs.
Well, he
So
was
technically we
camouflaged. He was camouflaged in the fall foliage.
So we can say that was another scene. So there's 18 scenes.
Oh, there you go.
We're going up one more. Absolutely.
Fantastic. Wrap it up with Terrence. I like it.
Very nice.
All right. But Matt, Meg, thank you so much again for showcasing this expansive layout. And I just cannot wait to see what further updates you plan to do to it, as well as continue to upload more on TikTok. I mean, it's amazing what goes viral on that site. So please keep it coming.
Sometimes it's hit or miss, so we don't know. There's no formula. We're just having fun, and it's just going to continue to be fun. But it was a pleasure being on this show, Christian and Doug, and we hope to be invited back one day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great to meet you both, and great work.
Awesome. And Doug, thank you so much again for the reveal. So I was just getting the outro ready because we know what happened a few times there. So but thanks so much as always for showcasing the latest reveals. It's such an exciting it's really exciting, especially to know that over 10 products are going to be out before the end of the year. So it's going to be a big Christmas for many, guaranteed.
Excellent. Thank you, Christian.
All right. Without further ado, thanks to everyone in the chat for joining us. Happy Thomas Tuesday, and keep on modeling.